great guests to walk us through this. Sultan Al Qassemi is here with us all night. It's superb to have you. You and I met, 10 years ago. You've been a great friend of the show. Thank you for being with us tonight and spending your new year with us. It's been, Sultan, it's been a tough year, particularly for this region. And as you sit here and reflect, and I know it's your birthday, 45 minutes from now, so you'll be reflecting, I know, on your 46th. But as you sit and look back on the year, what are your thoughts?
Becky, I mostly work in arts and culture. I teach about arts from the region. I'm very proud of how rich and diversified the art is in this region. But I must say, I'm, personally, myself and many others, most of my friends, if not all of them, are devastated by the war that's happening in Gaza, the onslaught there, it's nonstop. In addition to the countless lives that have been taken, the children, the women, the rubble, the destruction that really has broken our hearts daily, there is also an element of cultural destruction of the Greek Orthodox church that was targeted, the destruction of the Umari Mosque, the destruction of the Rashad Shawa Library. And unfortunately, these are sometimes forgotten and not mentioned so much, but culture is such an important element of all of our Arabs' lives because it's our language, it's our culture. Even our religions emanate from our culture and our religion. So it is with a heavy heart. I'm here. Yes, we're happy. There's a lot of culture, a lot of things that we are happy to talk about. But I must say that part of us definitely is, our thoughts are with our brothers and sisters in Gaza.
And there's no doubt about that. And those I speak to around the region, they're hurting this year of 2023. And I know people just have a sincere hope that there can be some progress and some sort of relief in 2024. Let's talk about that. I mean, let's talk about 2024. Perhaps start with your sort of cultural reflections, as it were, of 2023. Where do you want to start?
Well, I'd like to start with a major reopening in the region. There's a museum that reopened last summer in Lebanon called the Sursat Museum. And the Sursat Museum is one of the most beautiful mansions or palaces in the region. It's sort of half Venetian, half Ottoman. It was founded about 120 years ago by this philanthropist and art collector called Nicolas Sursok. And then when he passed away in 1952, he endowed it to the city of Beirut. And it hosted all these beautiful exhibitions, the Salon d'Automne, which is the annual fall or autumn fair in Lebanon, where artists from all over the region, and especially from Lebanon, exhibited. Unfortunately, Becky, after the Beirut blast of 2020, it was shut for about 3 years and then reopened a few months ago. So we're very happy that it's back. We're very happy because it's very symbolic of the region, the resurrection of culture. We have to believe that what is destroyed or what is damaged will be rebuilt. And I think that's a wonderful metaphor for all of us in the Arab world.
You have made an absolute sort of, life's work out of opening the aperture for people around the world on this region and this region's artwork. It's been an absolutely phenomenal journey, and one that I know so many people in this region are so proud of what you do. I, as a friend of yours, are incredibly proud. I was with you in the summer in London. You had an exhibition of your foundation's work and other pieces at Christie's. Just walk me through that, because we've got some footage of that. I think this was the largest ever display of modern and contemporary Arab art in London. Am I right in saying that?
That's right.
How successful was that?
It was very successful. We had visitors from all over the world. We had scholars. I counted curators from about 10 museums from the Middle East, North America, and Europe. So for me, I count number of academics, scholars, curators, students of art. These are important targets for me when I think about who I want to reach, but also the youth. I want them to feel proud of their Arab artistic heritage. So it's important for me that they come and visit and experience this art for themselves.
And have they come? Do they come?
Oh yes, thousands of people visited this exhibition at Christie's. I just want to say how grateful I am to Christie's for opening their beautiful exhibition hall at King's Road. This has never happened before in their 200-year history. It was the very first time that a not-for-sale exhibition takes place from a collection. And so I was really happy and touched.
You made a real point of ensuring that this was an exhibition which was an exhibition of equality. And when you and I spoke just before 2023, you had said at the time that you wanted to put women's art on the map, women artists on the map. Did you achieve that last year? Do you feel like there's a real there's support and a real movement for women artists around this region?
Certainly. I've had a lot of naysayers when we decided 5 years ago to only display an equal number of women and men in our exhibitions, 50-50. I don't think this has happened anywhere else in the world, and it's happening here in the Arab world, where a lot of people have misconceptions and stereotypes about the region. We are showing an equal number of women and men artworks. And so for me, I kind of panicked and thought, will I find an equal number of women and men artists? Because, you know, like everywhere else in the world, it's a misogynistic field. Men got more opportunities than women. But I can't tell you how happy I am that we found so many works by women. You know what women did? Women went into different fields that men wouldn't touch, like what so-called crafts, doing works on tapestry, glass, brass, ceramic, tiles, all these different materials that men didn't touch mostly, or for the most part, that women excelled in. So I was able to offer this opportunity for men and women to be showcased in equal terms.
The exhibition in London was truly an absolute joy to witness. What are you excited about most in 2024?
Well, lots of things. I mean, I'd love to attend, for example, the opening of the Grand Museum in Egypt. Apparently, that's happening in the spring. This is an exciting event. I think it is the event of the year of 2024 that we've been looking forward to for 20 years.
Tell me, before I let you go for the time being, the most expensive piece of Arab art sold this year was an untitled work by Saudi artist Mohammed Al Salim. It went for over $1 million in an auction at Sotheby's, as I understand it. We also saw some of Etel Adnan's pieces sell for hundreds of thousands of dollars. Sultan, what type of value is being attributed to Arab art right now, and how has that changed?
Oh, I mean, it's very clear that Arab art has broken the 6-figure. We're into the 7 figures now, and I think by the end of next decade, we'll be easily in the 8 figures. The reasons why these two artists achieve these large numbers are quite different. Etel Adnan is a renowned artist that is collected by museums all over the world. I believe that Mohammed Salim's artwork that sold for $1.1 million is a reflection of the Saudis themselves paying attention to their pioneer artists. So there's a market for Saudi Arabia, in Saudi Arabia, buying up their pioneering artists. Etel Adnan, who was Lebanese, is not acquired by the state in Lebanon, whereas Mohammed Al Salim is being acquired by these major museums. I believe there are several museums coming up in Saudi Arabia, and they need to fill their walls with important artworks from their own country as well.
You have been on this incredible tour over the last couple of years. You've been teaching in universities in the States, in Europe, and the idea is to introduce Arab art, not just contemporary Arab art, which is what I think many people may think they're most excited about, but modern Arab art. We're talking about from the 50s and the 40s and the 50s, which is absolutely inspiring to see. When you reflect on what you've achieved yourself during this period of time, when you've gone out around the world and you've introduced this part of the world, this wonderful part of the world, to the rest of the world, what are your best sort of takeaways?
You know, I've taught at 12 universities in North America and Europe, and it's a journey of educating, but in reality it's a journey of educating myself. So I'm learning from my students. My students are writing some of the first original literature on many artists who have lived and died, and there's very little about them. And these are kids, you know, youngsters in Europe and North America, many of whom are of Middle Eastern origin, writing the very first biographies of artists who existed 50, 60 years ago. So I'm educating myself in reality.
You are an absolute star. Thank you very much indeed. Staying with us tonight.